Hey guys, we are back for more BMW. Okay, I've weighed a few more bits that have come off the bike, and also I calculated slightly wrong on the last bit. I missed something out, and someone's pointed that out to me, which is brilliant. I appreciate all that help immensely because I'm not very clever. You may have worked that out already. So, and each bike is a learning curve as well. So I appreciate all the information of people who've got experiences with these bikes. You know, each bike you work on, they're all different. I know basics are the same, but they are all different. They all have their little quirks and things going right and wrong. And I've said it before, I am no expert. I don't claim to be an expert, never will. I'm just a guy messing about in a garden shed and sharing it with you guys. That's all I am. And we'll get ups and downs and wrongs and rights along the way, but hopefully at the end it's as right as we can get it. That goes for every single build. Anyway, yes, we had a bit of a weigh-in. I corrected the error on the last weigh-in. I've gone over this one again and again and again, and so far everything that's come off the bike, bear with me, is 79.3 kilo, which is a hell of a weight. Obviously what we've got to do, everything that's being replaced, that's also going to be weighed, so we'll see the difference as the bike progresses. But 79.3 kilos so far, that's weighing everything that's come off the bike, even the front wheel, anything that's staying off or going to be changed has been weighed. So like I say, then everything that goes back on will be weighed, and then we should get the difference. Hopefully we do get a weight saving. Hopefully we should have. I had a little mess about earlier. It's like, where are we? Everything to do with the handlebars that we've taken off, that's all the switch gear, everything came to 5.19 kilo, and I had a quick weigh in of the new handlebars that came to 1.9 kilo. So that is a hell of a saving just on the handlebars alone. And I know in areas it may gain a little bit, but hopefully in most of the areas it will lose more than gain. That's sort of the plan. And obviously to make it look good as well. Anyway, today I'm going to take that great big thing off the engine, the bit that we are changing. So that's going to come off, and we'll see where we are with that. And then I have got to go and get some material today, along with Dad's taxi and probably other things. It's still early, so there's still a chance for people to keep asking me to do stuff, but we'll see how that goes. So I've got to go and get some material, and then we'll, probably not in this video, but we'll obviously, the next video possibly, we'll make the jig, or I'll be already made the jig, and we'll start planning that bit of framework and get it together. Anyway, let's get this off. Okay, I think we're ready. So I've undone the coil, I've undone this bracket here for the electrics, snipped all the cable ties off everything from what I can see. So I think we're ready to take that little bit of frame off. Yeah, obviously this bracket was bolted to this, so what I've done, I've put the bolt back through and tightened it all back up because I want this to stay solid, because when I come to build my bit, I'm not going to have it bolted up here. I'm going to have it all part of it all welded in. So let's see how this comes off. That wasn't that tight. That's a bonus. Nice. and these seem to be all on spindles that go all the way through the engine casting. Obviously it's really strong like that. I drop that. I'll retrieve that in a minute. There we go. Right, where did that not go? There it is. I'll reach that. Yes. Right, obviously we'll keep that because we'll be using that again. Right, now the front one. Different size. Different size again. Let's try that one. That's the one. And that one. That's it. That's not too bad either. It's going too well. Let's get some, tap that through. Hammer. Careful not to damage the threads. That's going nice and easy. I should be able to do that on my hand. Yep. Right, that should be free. I hope. It's a little bit awkward with the oil pipes. That's it. Got it. Right, let's take a look. There we have it then. That is it. So I've just weighed this. This is 3.67 kilo. So it's not a great deal of weight in it. Obviously it's the shape of it that creates its strength. As you can see, it's all hollow. There's not really a great deal to it. All we've got is the two mounting points. We're going to end up with 3, possibly 4. I've got to figure something out, see if I can fit an extra brace under the tank to the rear part of the frame. Unsure about that yet. I was going to bring 2 spars down to the bottom of the engine. Not going to do that anymore. Rightly so. Someone's picked something out on that, saying the lug at the bottom of the engine is not really designed to carry any structure. I get that 100%. So if I was going to do it, it was going to be part of more something to carry the oil cooler, but I can get round that with what I bring into the mounting point that was the telly lever. I say this, it's been done before several times. This is not a new idea that I've dreamt up or anything. It's been done before and it's been done successfully, with no dramas, no bother, no accidents or anything like that. So I'm very confident that all this, what I do, is going to be structurally sound. Yeah, my only thought of anything extra was another brace coming off here that goes over the battery and down into the rear part of the frame. Like I say, this is all just ideas, like everything else on the bike. It's all ideas at the moment. Obviously I've got to make facilities to bolt all the electrics back to this and the coil pack, which is no big trouble. They were on this fixing here. I will do mine somewhere else, because when I build mine, this will be all welded in. So we've got the headstock that I've done. as you can see, it's going to be a lot longer than what's there. So we really will be able to spread the load coming from the very top of this to the very bottom with the tubes that I bring off it. And we'll also gusset the tubes as well. As you see on it, most headstocks, they'll have the top tube coming off, the bottom tube coming off, and a big gusset spreading the load down the headstock onto the top tube and onto the bottom tube. So we'll do all that, and possibly we'll see how it goes. In between the structure that I build down here, we'll have trellis work in between all that as well. So it really will be a solid piece. Now this I believe is going to be the only part of the bike that's going to gain weight on the bit I make compared to the weight of this. This being alloy, the tie bars are steel, and obviously the main lump is alloy. So yeah, there's not a lot of weight there at all. So yeah, I'm pretty sure we are going to gain weight on this part of the bike, but lose it everywhere else on all the other bits that we change. Yeah, not a lot to it, is there? That is it. So I'm going to go and do taxi service now, go and pick some steel up, and then we'll have a look how we're going to lay the jig out. Okay, moving forward several days. There's been a lot going on. It's now Monday. Hopefully I'm going to get some time in on the BM. As you know, the draw's been done. I have spoken to Paul. He is absolutely over the moon. So I've more or less got that ticked off the list. I've just got to get the bike to him. He's obviously got his life going on, and we've got to tie things in and get it to him. Anyway, BM. I've also been fixing Tracy's car. That's been a nightmare. All that time her car's been off the road because things have been so hectic and busy, and I've just finally got it done, and then I couldn't get the battery charged up, so we've got to sort that out. Anyway, back on with the BM. Things are a little bit crazy at the moment. So let me get my head around this. Trying to think what I recorded last, because this is several days later. Oh, it was this. We recorded that, didn't we? We sat down and we were looking at this bit, and I think I said I've got to go out and get material. So in amongst all the running around, I've been out and got some material. I've got to sort some things out for the jig now to make my part of the frame, which I've got some of it. I just need some threaded 20mm threaded bar, which I think a friend of mine's got a bit of that, so I can sort of make some cones that the headstock fits into, and I can adjust that up and down at the 27 degrees that I want it at. So yeah, the jig's going to be, I'm going to try and make it as simple as possible, but good enough to perhaps do some more of these further down the line. So far I've been out and sorted the material out for the bobbins and made them. So these are going obviously where, let's have a look down here, the front part of the frame went. So our tube work is going to come off these bobbins, pretty much like the modern version of this bike, the GS. Obviously we're going to have the headstock up here, so we'll have tube work coming from these bobbins connecting to the headstock, some at the bottom, and then we're going to utilize this mounting point here. This is where the telly lever arm went to, so I've done them bobbins. These bobbins are a bit thicker because I've got to allow for the thickness of the telly lever mounting points and still be able to use the standard spindles that went through there. So they'll be going here. So we're going to have that extra bit of framework connect to these, obviously both sides. Still not 100% decided how I'm going to do this top bit. I may, again, just ideas, I'm going to see as I go along, use these and then bolt them, because we're very restricted. Let me try and find where they bolt to. Literally down there, look. So we're very restricted with space. So I think the sensible thing to do is possibly use them bracing arms that were on the standard bit of frame. So I can't put no bobbins there because we just haven't got the space to put them. So we have at least got to use tube with the flat ends on so they can slot back down there and bolt in. And then I was talking about, I'm just trying to think the best way of going about it. I've seen these frames done. I've seen them with just the 2 mounting points, and I've seen them with the 3 mounting points, utilising where the telelever went, which I'm definitely going to do that, because I want to bring a bit of frame down from that headstock and into this. Then we've got a place for the oil cooler. But I'm also thinking, because obviously between that and the telelever, we had that part of the forks contained, so they weren't able to, exaggerated, move like so. Now I know there's a lot of bikes out there, Ducatis and things like that, where they literally just have a little bit of framework across the top of the engine. But I'm thinking, if I can do it, I don't think, you know, it's 100% necessary, but I want to do this probably sort of over the top, over engineered, if you want to call it that. So I 100% know in my own mind that it's going to be good. So I was thinking of a top brace also. So coming off the top of the headstock, we're going to have tubes coming off the bottom to the mounting points, the original mounting points. We're going to have a tube coming off the top to the original mounting point between that and where the telelever is mounted. And I'm thinking of doing a top brace, single 32mm tube coming straight off from between here, all like gussets, connecting it all up, so we've got a good strong structure. And perhaps I can lower this. This is basically the electricery part of the bike. I can lower that, or I can put it on its side. The battery, I can also actually put that on its side. It's a gel battery. It doesn't matter if it's upright, upside down, on its side, wrong way around, doesn't matter. I can also bring that down, ain't no issue at all. And then off the top of the headstock, which is going to probably sit approximately in this area, bring a top brace all the way down. There's definitely enough room under the tank. The tank's got a huge void underneath there, and anchor it to the rear shock mount, not welded. Have this top brace so it's all bolted in, but it anchors there. That is a good strong point to contain everything. And what that top brace will do will sort of compensate from what the telelever was doing, stopping the forks, trying to do this. I know the engine's strong enough for all these mounting points. Obviously that's how it is designed. Sometimes I see people using, let's say, a GSX engine or something like that, and they start using frames without cradles. The engines were never ever designed to do that. Like this engine, the castings are huge, they're thick where it's all mounted to the engine, and obviously it's designed to take this type of frame without a cradle containing all the engine. So yeah, sometimes you see engines where they've just put a little top frame on. It's fair enough, it's their choice, it's, you know, but engines that are designed with a cradle, it's normally best to put them back into a cradle frame. So yeah, I reckon that top brace that I'm thinking of, it will contain sort of it trying to do that motion. Like I say, that's what the telelever done on the original setup. But yeah, it's all just plans and thoughts at the minute, which I'm going to cross them bridges as we get to them, and what I can do for this, what I'm doing to be 100% strong enough, because I won't say I'll push this bike to the limits, but I will push it off-road, definitely. And we want it to stay in one piece, really. It'll be a good thing if we can make it stay in one piece. But like I say, this is not an this is not a new idea. It's been done several times before. You don't really see it a lot, but I'm about to put it all over YouTube, so I want it to work. And all I'll say, the videos that I do are not how-to videos. It's just me messing about in here, doing my own thing and working and figuring things out for myself, and that's all part of the fun. So yeah, I've got a bit of running around to do again today, and hopefully through this week we're going to have the jig done, and we're probably going to get that part of the frame together. I've got to go out and source some spokes for the front wheel, because I need the front wheel set up as well. So I've got to sort out all the hub on that so it fits the forks. So there's quite a lot to do to get all the front end set up. This is probably the biggest part of the job. The whole project is getting this front end to work in that bike. From a few rough measurements that I've done in my head to make things look right, I think I've got to get some shorter risers. I think I did write it down somewhere. These forks work out like 15 mil longer than the standard ones, but I can lose that in my position of the headstock. No problem at all. Like I say, it might need some shorter risers for it to look right. We don't want great big chopper style handlebars sticking out from up on the bike looking like a chopper. I want them quite low. So yeah, there's going to be a lot to do to figure it all out, but I'm pretty sure we'll get there and make it all look good, as well as function, which is, with this sort of bike, really is the most important thing. It's got to work, it's got to be safe, it's got to be strong. So yeah, there's no rush. I'm just going to take my time and make sure we get everything on this part of the project right. So yeah, it's going to be a busy week. It's going to be a busy week sorting more things out, like the spokes, getting the hub done, and getting all this done. That, to be truthful, to be quite honest, we'll probably roll into next week, because there's a fair amount of work doing all that properly. Because obviously it's got to be built properly, because we don't want a bent bike. It's all got to be spot on. So yeah, that's this week. Anyway, I'm going to call it a video on this. The next one, we should be definitely tucking into the jig and all that part of the framework. I'm off now to do some running around Dad's taxi, find some spokes, and get everything ready to crack on. Cheers for watching, guys. See you very, very, very soon.